Hello everyone. So in this video I am going to be talking about the nuances of the deep web or the dark net, and basically what are the difference between the deep web and the clear web. So really basically the deep web or some of the web that I think most of the difference is the fact that the addresses of the deep web in the URL are different from the deep web from the which are the onion format basically. So the deep web at the end, like usually when we website in our browsing state, so at the end most of the website end with .com, .net or .org, but in deep web website it will end with .onion. Now I can basically show you that going to be to the hidden wiki. So just search for that on the Tor browser, and you can also do that too. So it's just a simple fact in the URL at the end, just it will be .onion, like a .onion extension. So I'm going to show you an example right now. So an example of a clear web website that ends in a like .com, .net or .org that are basically simple. So as example, how URLs appear on the clear web, as I previously told, .com, .net, .org, etc., etc. Now the deep web and all the dark net, for that matter, the URL will appear in slightly differently. So let me just try and open a deep web website, just a random deep web website like this. It will take a couple of seconds to open up. As you can see at the end, as you can see .onion. So in this hidden wiki, there will be many websites that you cannot open or you cannot go, but a couple of the websites you can go and check this website out. So there are many categories in this hidden wiki website, like as you can see, Bitcoin anonymity, drug stores, more commercial rings, etc., and everything else, and lots of website. Most of them are not accessible, but you can find a couple of them that are accessible, and you can go and visit that. So let's tell you about the searching in the dark net. So especially in the search engine like Google is being used, and many other search engine may be used. So I don't know what search engine you may be using, but Google will not work in this index. And what's really important from this darknet is that it's only going to index a lot of stuff from the clear web. So basically in the next video I will actually show you some of the really good dark web or darknet search engines. So that will basically index all the website on the darknet and give you some of the good results. Now back to what I was explaining about the extension of the URL. So here an example of the website of a URL that end with .onion. So this is the dark web or deep web website. So you basically have the http:// and then the name of a website in a code format, as you can see here. So you will not find any website in the name right here, but an idea of it is a combination of a letter that will give and that will make sense to the title of this website in a code format. So you will not find a website that will have a name right here in a dark web, and idea of a basically is a combination of letter. And now you can see it's a .coin at the end of the extension. So if I open another website like coffee, it will take some time to load. As you can see, it has now coffee get another website. So more commercial link like as you can see in here, and website but the website name is ACC market, but as you can see it website description is in letters, and at the end it's a dot onion. So that's an example of how a dark web website usually looks like, and what is the website address and the extension. So you're gonna also find a couple of websites like search engines that will give you the results of like ebooks, or you can print ebooks or buy ebooks, or you can collect and buy a couple of other books that they are selling and you want to buy. So there are a couple of good and bad both websites both in here. So overall this is a very good search engine, but it's not the best. I'll getting a good couple of websites in the upcoming videos. So basically that's it for this video. This is the video that I was just explaining the answers about the deep web and what's the difference from what you would expect a normal clear web to a deep web, and the functionality of how this works and all. So that's all for it. So in this section we are basically going to be looking at the Tor browser and some of its security feature and just going over the interface. So you could have installed this on Windows, or you could be installed this on any other virtual machine, or even Ubuntu or Linux, any other choices that you want. So I'm now using this on my Windows computer. So as you can see, I have connected to my Tor network, so it's all connected. So let's get started. So the Tor browser has a lot of security feature that probably a lot of people overlook, but let's actually get into them. So if you maximize the Tor browser in virtual machine, it's going to tell you that Tor browser can allow a website to determine your monitor size, which can be used to track you. So we recommend that you leave your Tor browser window in the original default size. So there's actually a precaution that actually makes sense, because obviously if you visit a website, it has to do basically from a website from the device that you are using, because the resolution of the device that you are using, which you see most commonly nowadays, can be detected on those certain website. So if you visit a website on your mobile device, it will basically convert the resolution to the mobile devices. So one of the first precaution is to take the make sure that you don't maximize your browser resolution on your virtual machine, and it makes a lot of easier for them to understand what device you are using, and from there they can basically begin targeting you, and all of that really is got to do with security and anonymity. So now most of the people already noticed that this really isn't very common normal. As you can see, if you go to this little icon in here, As you can see, this is the site information for this duckduckgo.com. So you can get a new identity by clicking this. Okay, let's test this. As you can see, I got the new identity from here, and it will refresh as this identity. So the Tor is enabled. So if you as the Tor is enabled, is gonna create a new identity. If you click this Tor circuit from this side, and it's going to see the security setting of the Tor network setting. So let's just go into the google.com for better understanding. It will take some time because it's on this. As you can see, it's sending a lot of packets from code, not from each of these countries. As you can see, it's in Germany, because as you can see, the languages are all in German, because this connection is from German. Now we basically hit a new identity. This will create like another, but it's still from German. As you can see. Okay, let's create all German. Okay. So as you can see, it's connected to the Tor network, and what you see is basically replies. So according to that, it got the Tor network. So that the IP is using the IP from Germany and from Switzerland. Then the node is gone from Austria, and then finally it's going to this google.com. So in reality, I don't live in any of these countries, but so I can tell you that it's working. So if you click on the onion right now in here, so it's going to say this browser is security level is standard, because all of the browser and website feature are enabled. So but if I click this in here, it will see the Tor circuit in here, as we previously described how Tor connection work. So it's going to go to the first node, then the first node is basically selected to the second node, and then is going to select to the third node, and then finally going to this internet like google.com. So it's basically we are showing you the chain of node connections that you are browsing, and the browser is taking to finally access the internet, which is why you will find sometimes the connection is slightly slower in this Tor browser, because it's coming from various nodes. That's why it's taking some time to load any web pages, and that's why it's slightly slower. Again, you can create a new identity by just clicking this, and it is going to give you the new IP address. So we basically know this is using the German IP address, and let's close this window and connect to the new door circuit. So create a new identity, as I already shown how to create a new identity. So now let's go a new website, like as we all know this website and we visit every day. So let's go to youtube.com. and see let's see what it gives you. So as you can see, it giving you the same top circuit as how this node actually works. So in theory, I don't know what IP addresses it's giving me now, but let's see what is giving us. So basically it is using the Germany IP address, and possibly it is going to continue using it for right now. Anyway, what I was getting to was basically how it's basically structured, the web page, and how you can customize the activity of this page. So as I say, you can go into the security setting. So security setting, and right now the security setting is set to standard, which is low. So that means that is basically going to work like any browser, and is not going to restrict anything because it's on standard and means it's in low. So let me just minimize this. Now if I hit medium means this one safer. As you can see, it has a lot of description like disable website feature that are often dangerous, causing some site to lose functionality. JavaScript is disabled on non-HTTP sites. Some fonts and some math symbol are disabled. Audio and video, HTML, media, and WebGL are click to pay. So if I just reload this YouTube page, that means it's still going to enable the HTML5 video and audio media, but it became unplayable. Like if I click this video, as you can see, it cannot open this video, but if I change this to standard and reload this page, as you will see, it will open this video. As you can see, it's working. So basically all sites where JavaScript is enabled, performance optimization that are disabled. So basically when it's medium, it's going to restrict a bit of script running on the website. For example, I already shown you one of these. It's going to show you the thumbnail, but it's not going to play the video. Let me try that again. As you can see, permission for YouTube video autoplay is blocked by blocking audio. Also disable, as you can see, disable website feature that are often dangerous, causing some site to lose functionality. As you can see, it also gives you the description of how this security works. So in terms of interface, there is nothing really changed, but everything is still smooth. But the thing is, it's not going to play the video because it's on a medium setting. So if I change this to the highest, so which means only allows website features required for static website and basic services. So this changes effect like JavaScript will be disabled by default on all website, and some fonts, icon, or math symbol, or even image will be disabled, and audio video will also be disabled. Okay, let's just reload this. As you can see, let's just reload this. Okay, as you can see, nothing is even clickable in this highest or safer. As you can see, it's here. Also show you all those torch circuit, and also it will give you the security level on your allow website that requires static, because the YouTube doesn't use the static. That's why you cannot even do anything on this hard level. So let me explain what the high security level actually means. So this security level, following changes, which is the apply most over the any preview on the content, like any clickable website in this here, you can just click. So where JavaScript is enabled, it actually cannot do anything. So in reality there is a lot of script that are disabled. So because in your script area they're gonna ask if there is an area that block the script, and as you can see it's temporarily blocked all this font or even thumbnail, so it disabled all other scripted as well. So now you can temporarily allow the script on this page if you know your website that you can trust. However, it's going to be advise you that allowing the script globally or universally across the Tor browser is very dangerous, and that's because some of the website may use JavaScript. As you know, JavaScript uses your computer to perform a task on the website like calculation, and those can be very dangerous, especially when harvesting information from your browser and your computer. So basically is the security feature that you have your Tor network setting. So you can even Tor browser close down window tabs, and you can all below. So you can even reset your identity by using this button. If you click yes, it will reset all your identity. So even with this button you can just reset the Tor circuit and the website details, is it secured or verifiable or not. So the security feature that if you have in your Tor network are very simple and basically first setting that you get. So when installing the Tor browser, you can eventually check that whether you want your network or internet source or service provider to block connection to the Tor network in some countries, whether that may be restricted or whether you may have a proxies or you are going through a firewall. So that's really up to you. So coming to this browser, let me go back to YouTube, and okay, let's just go back to YouTube again. So if you focus on the top Tor circuits, it says that you have a visual representation according to the chain of loads that being used. So if you are going to secure settings, and we are going to, if you want to secure setting like chain setting, that's the security level, and you can set like medium, low, or safest. So let's go the Tor browser to use DuckDuckGo, because Tor browser uses DuckDuckGo. As you can see, DuckDuckGo as is search engine. So the Tor browser automatically uses the DuckDuckGo, which is then anonymous search engine. So basically, as you can see that the default search engine is DuckDuckGo. It let me just search the hidden wiki. Let's just go and open the hiddenwiki.org. It contains a collection of few or I would say most variable or safe .onion websites. So generally speaking, the first thing you realize that the deep web or the darknet actually browse through the darknet, which is relatively slow because it's going to use as a certain amount of proxies. So the hidden wiki, as I said, is going to be using a DuckDuckGo search engine, and a DuckDuckGo search engine is the, I think, best search engine because it is anonymous and that does not take any of your search queries. So as I open the hiddenwiki.org website, so let's try and actually visit the website or darknet website. So basically this is just a collection of .onion website, which is the URL format for the deep web, and most of you that don't know, it does not end with, this website does not end with .com, .net or .org. It ends with, as you can see, .onion. So let's just open an website. Let's see if this website is working or not. Okay, this website is working, but most of the website that we are seeing here will not work. So it's a good starting point for you to understand how this works. So basically I'm trying, as I tried to go, you can even try any other website, but I will prefer you to do the website that you can good use for your goods, not for bad intention. So for example, this website, as you can see, the UK passports, name of your choice. These are not I think good website, but also as you can see they are selling the UK passport made for your with your information. So this is not good. So let me just try a good website that can be. Let's talk about Bitcoin. As you all know, now in Bitcoin is pretty much familiar with all of us what Bitcoin is. So there are some websites that will be illegal, so illegal content, so which again I mentioned in my disclaimer that I am not going to be responsible for you if you get involved in this. But anyway, let me just try this, and as you can see, most of these websites are not legal or use cases for mine to showcase how this works. So QoS, let's try this. It also contains a few torrent websites. If you check this out, there is a couple of torrent websites in here. But another tip I would give is I would not recommend you to basically go to this torrent website on the deep web, because that's basically give you your location, and I will get to it advanced on the image setting and configuring. So basically giving you the most full anonymity where you are, and it cannot be traced back to you. Yes, and that will be discussed in the future videos. So as you can see, this website is not loading, so you will face this similar problem on most of these pages. So let's just try this one, so see if this works or not. So see PayPal, list of PayPal, eBay accounts. So as you can see, 80% it will give you the PayPal account by using this job. More than 20% don't work. So as you can see, it's not usable. That even you can use dark mining. So as I told you, there is a many website that you can try in here. I'm not gonna go details about this website and how this works, so it's not my concern how these websites do. So I'm just giving you the demonstration on how this dark web website usually works. So you can go and buy some illegal stuff, but I don't encourage you to do that, because at the end of the day you can use this, and you can use this as valuable information, and also you can do whatever you want with this. So that's basically it for this video. Welcome to this video, and in this video I have a very fun and exciting topic for you. So basically we are going to be looking at the best deep web or darknet site search engine out there. So basically I have got around 4, and I think these are the best search engine that you could get, and one of them you could include, but also a couple of them are disabled. As I previously talked about, not all of the sites are live, so even the best sites that are disabled day by day. So now the first one I'm going to start with this is Ahmia, and I don't know how we pronounce it, but I think it's pronounced Ahmia. So this is my personal favorite because how many results it came up. Let's search about conspiracy theory. Okay, let's search about conspiracy. So so this is very simple, a very generic. As you can see, it's going to give you a lot of things, and I like this result. It basically has a very clean user interface. It displays the result in a, as you can see, 0.69 second. It has statistics, and you can basically use this search to do anything like that. So let me open one of these, like political, if it's open or not. Let's just wait to see if it's working or not. Many of these results will not be working, as I previously told. As you all know, and as I've mentioned, basically the sites of the deep web will usually find sites that most search will not work and not active. And if you had the real challenge of finding sites that are active, so let's check. So, okay, this one is active, and so this one is also active. So this is the site for political deep web talk. So this is not so interesting. So also this is on. So consciousness is all have, and it is in. So as you can see, it's a forum type of pages. Just to show you the result, and that indeed some of these websites are active, and you will find through the search engine. So basically we have this conspiracy about the brain or consciousness. So it's pretty interesting in here. So nothing to mention otherwise. So I'm not going to go any of this, because it may be some other things that we don't want to know. So let's just give you the example of this, how this website works. And this is a very good search engine, and I could recommend it really to use the search, the Ahmia search engine. So the second one in my list is Candle, but as you can know, and as I told that most of these websites are already down. Like if I search this, Candle was one of the best search engine along with, but as you can see, the status is down. If I want to try, as you can see, the website is down. So it's been less than 2 years. Okay, So this website, let me give you a brief description about this website, the candle. This website, so let me give you a brief description. So it is a very minimalistic search engine, as you can see in the picture. It's different, as you can see here, it's different, and it also applies the same color scheme as the Google logo. So it basically is a tagline saying like no code, just word. So if you search anything like, as I previously typed, like conspiracy theory, it will show some different results than the Hamia search engine, and you will see differences like it will show many results, but in this, as you can see, it only showed 142 matches, but in candle it showed like 300 to 400 to 500 also, and it showed the results. So basically that candle website is indexed by pages, and as you can see, it has a black color scheme, so that's very nice and easy for the eyes. It also gives the result description, and a nice description and long description. So this is very nice because it gives it used to give all the latest websites by the relevance that the search word that you put, and the candle there will sort by the time that it was uploaded or activated. So let's talk about the other one, which is grams. So let's search. Let's talk about not evil. As you can also see, not evil is also down. So it's basically the search for theories, as far as I remember, and it used to give the most of the result in Russian websites. So mostly because the result came from the Russian people, so that's why it showed most of the result in Russian. So that means that when the pinged is last active, then it gives the result using this not evil website. Okay, then let's talk about another one. Let's talk about grams. So grams is basically a search engine that will allow you to search the dark web markets. Now in the next video, I am probably going to talk about the dark web or deep web markets, and this will basically allow you to index all of them. So let's try and see search something maybe that would expect to be sold on dark web market. Like the popular one is cannabis. So let's search this cannabis. So talking about the interface, as it's a very good looking website with a great interface. As you can see in here, you can check the market chart or market status or market alerts, and both in USD, Euro, and all of this. So let me check. As you can see, it also has the advertisement in the first two results. So let's check this website. And again, I don't encourage any of this or condone any of this, but again, it's up to you. You really, whatever you do, you can do. anyway, it's basically give that a result. As you can see it in this, it result the okay. Let's check about the coffee shop. As you can see, this gives a result of coffee shop grade cannabis. So finest organic cannabis grown. You can buy stuff from this here, and again I don't encourage any of this. I'm just showing you for the purpose of that. You can check what it is and what it isn't in these searches. So that's all. I think cannabis is also I think Grams is also a great website for searches, and you should check this out. So let's you can say another one is Torch, and this is really why I don't like Torch, because even though it has a fairly good user interface, but these links are just distracting and I don't just like this. So let's search conspiracy theory in here also. So let's check it out. Any one of them, you can, as you can see, it has many results. It shows 34 results. You can check any one of them. So it gives result based on the word that you type. So as you can see, all of them are typed as conspiracy theories. It doesn't give the result other than that. So let's check one of these if it's load or not. Okay, I don't think this page will load, so let's check this out. Also this doesn't load. Okay, this loaded. So as you can see, it is about the conspiracy theory. Again, it's something like blog, and many people also commented in here. So that's it for this website on Torch. It is also a good website for these types of result. So again, it's all about whether or not search engines can give you what you are looking for, but in my opinion this website is the best. Ahmia, this website is one of the, I guess this website is best of the all four, and I would recommend it to you again. So go and search this out. So, and the link, you can check out this link into where you can go to this website. Just type this or just search in the Tor browser and it will came out. Just search Ahmia and it will came out. So that's basically it for the video. So now in this video I am going to be showing out the best email providers on the deep web or the darknet, as it's so called. So there are about 4 providers that I think are the best, and I think that will perform exceptionally well for any purpose. So what you have in mind, basically you might be asking yourself, why do I need an email address on the dark web or deep web? So the question is, why not? Why shouldn't you have one? First of all, it's just amazing for communication because it's gonna be anonymous, and this literally have no tracking whatsoever. There is no Google or no tracking. Basically, how many emails can you send a day or not? Is there basically files scanning or basically attached file that it could be scanning? But those are just some of the advantages of using an email on a deep web or the darknet. So let's actually get started. So by the way, all link can be found just by typing or just by searching on the duckduckgo.com. So the Basically the first one is called Proton Mail. Now Proton Mail is also on the clear web, but it actually does exceptionally when on the deep web or the darknet as well. So here it is. You can basically just log in or create an account. Now you might just might ask like, why should I select Proton Mail? Well, basically, as you can already see, it's gonna be on the clear website up, and it's, if we basically just temporarily allow skip on this side, and so there is no risk in this website. You can select your account type and some of the packages that also do need some payment. Now there is a free version which as you can see, free version in here, which doesn't give a lot of feature. Also it has some limitation, as you can see, 500 MB storage, 150 messages per day, and but the one with the plus is €4 per month, gives you a lot of option. But you might be asking yourself, why cannot I just use normally for my communication? Well, that's good. That's also a good argument. But with Proton Mail, as it says, Proton Mail is a free service for the public that you could support online privacy by selecting a paid account on your contribution. That helps us basically. So Proton Mail is a free and open up software. It's so basically package the payment option, and they are gonna support them in development. Now the asking part is yourself there, what security do they use? So you can go to the security option and you can read all of this. Again, it's all about personal preferences. You can basically make your decision out of Proton Mail, and there are others that are going to be looking at the. So let's look at the second one. The second one is Torbox. Let's go to the home page. It is there is no clear web version of this, and there is no connection between the Tor or the public internet. All messages are sent and received with Torbox. So just log in or sign up for a new toolbox and start sending and receiving email within the Torbox. So this is pretty cool. So you can see, you can basically just sign up to an account, and it is totally free. You can basically just enter your name, email and password and then captcha, and done. You have created the mailbox. So why is this so cool? Well, for me, I have used Torbox before, so I just love its simplicity. It's really easy to create an account, and in the mailbox is very simple. You can give people your email address over the deep web, and you can communicate through them. And you might be asking like, what type of security do they use? So as you can see, this is the standard email system. The communication between you and the server to server MTA transport are encrypted as they are established within the Tor network. So basically your message is already encrypted because they are traveling through the Torbox. Basically what it offers is a mailbox and then email address and then webmail access through the mail, and that's pretty good package, and it's all free and absolutely free. So this is one of my personal favorites, and I would actually recommend this for the beginners. The next one is BitMessage. So the BitMessage is okay. Let me just search. I already searched this. BitMessage, as you can see, it also invalid now, it's also down. This was also a good website. Also you can see here the top one is Proton Mail, Torbox and Bitmessage and Mail to Tor. So about this is the Mail to Tor on Onion page. So Mail to Tor is an anonymous email service to protect your privacy, and it allows anyone to send and receive email anonymously via the webmail or the email client, but you do need to use the Tor browser to install this computer and access to MailTor, because otherwise you cannot go and access to this. It also a good alternative to Proton Mail or the Torbox, but in my opinion Torbox is the best. And also there are lots of other you can try, but most of them are disabled. As you can see, is disabled. So basically that's it for the video. So these are the basically I think the best email providers on the deep web right now, and hopefully you can find the one that you like and the one you hopefully be using for a long time to come. So now in this video I'm going to be we are going to be looking at a couple of social network and forums on the dark web that in my opinion are the best, and it's so called I have a list of couple of these, and I think that are the suitable for all of us and are best to use. So you can, the first one is Kiwi Farm. So as you can see, it's a good looking user interface, and it has some contents, and even if you are a member and you can log in, register, search, you can even chat with your member also. So as you can see, it detects any cults or salon or farms or any of these topics. You can just go around and talk or post your thought and all of this. As you can see, it also has many views, so it's quite popular in the dark web or darknet. So this is the one. So the next one is the Hub. So this is also a good forms for posting like your thoughts and opinion and etc, but these need to be, you need to be a member too. As you can see, only registered member allowed to access to this section. So you have to just register and log in to this, the Hub. So you have to register here. As you can see, it has all the option that you want to know. So that's all about the Hub. So and the another one is this is for the Dutch forum, and basically most of the people are here are from Dutch. As you can see, it also has many reaches, also has many posts, and also quite popular in the deep web. And also another one is the Envoy. Most of the forums or threads or social network sites are restricted because you have to be a member to register to view or post other people's thread. That's why all, as you can see, this one also, this one, all of them are restricted because you have to be a member to post or read any of the post. So and the final one is, it is quite popular. I think it is one of the best forums in deep web, and as you can see, it pretty much looks like Reddit because it also has some Reddit style post and upvotes. As you can see, you can sort this post by hot or top. You can just select any of these and it will load up. As you can see, private link and many upvotes. And also in this area you can see the top subscriber channels in here. So basically these are the all top forums or social sites in deep web, and there are also a couple of top social sites, but I cannot really demonstrate that because all of them are disabled, so that's why I cannot really talk about them without describing or demonstrating these websites. So it's basically very organized and very simple. In this website is great. So overall pretty awesome. So that's pretty much all about these forums, and I think you have a certain idea about this deep web or darknet or website or social media, how you can visit and log in or register or watch or post or even talk or chat about your thoughts and all etc. So that's it for the video. I hope you have gained some knowledge about this, and that's it for today.
Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'll show you guys marketplaces in dark web about gun market, drug market, or the relevant websites. So browsing the deep web or darknet is not a crime, but anything other than browsing, such as buying things or services, may be illegal in the user's place of residence. For example, a number of countries have passed laws explicitly prohibiting online gambling. In 2014, the Parliament of the Singapore passed the Remote Gambling Bill as countermeasure against online gambling locally. In 2018, the UK accounted for 34.2% of the EU online gambling market, with Germany trailing at 11%, France 8%, Italy 1%. The If the purchase of child pornography, drugs, weapons, people or their organs, or programs for hacking other people's resources is prohibited by the law from where a user accesses the darknet, then everyone who commits such actions is considered a criminal by the law. In addition, all those who trade in such goods and services are violating the law as well. Likewise, whoever writes scripts for presenting penetrating someone else's network is not yet doing anything legal until they run said script. Any attempt to sell such software to others is already a crime where such actions are prohibited, and the buyer of such software or service also becomes violator of the law. So this is the all of these are the website and privacy tools. This is a website. The easiest way is to stay away from both realms altogether, but sometimes access to the network is necessary in the course of work of such specialists as journalists, police officers, private detectives, and many other professionals. Maximum protective measures should be taken in order to protect one's self from malware and phishing. After a surfing session on the darknet, users must never visit the lightnet straight away, but restart their computer and observe its behavior. If the computer operates normally and is not exhibiting any suspicious actions, then it is safe to resume work as usual on the lightnet.
Hello everyone and welcome to this section of the lecture. So we are going to be covering about Bitcoin in all here and everything to do with Bitcoin. So from what Bitcoin are, how they work, and all the way to how you can basically use it for transaction on the deep web or the darknet. So let's get started. So this is a basic introduction to what Bitcoin is and how it's used, what the current value is. So firstly, you will realize that Bitcoin has a very nice logo. I mean, it just looks like a coin, but with a bit, basically B in the middle of it, which means the Bitcoin. So coming on to understanding what Bitcoin is here, is first you have to understand what it has a abbreviation, and that is BTC. BTC means the Bitcoin. So let me basically explain what Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin firstly is a decentralized currency, which essentially means that it's not a physical currency and it's used on the internet. So this is not a currency that you can basically have physically. So it's a currency that is essentially worth the value on the internet or digitally. So as if today if the internet were to collapse, Bitcoin would also collapse with it, and all the money of Bitcoin also will collapse. Because when internet will collapse, and with the Bitcoin who is related to the internet mostly, and then as money has today will not have real value when internet will collapse, because it's on the internet currency. However, it does have a value because the internet is such a widely used tool, and most of the people now all uses internet, so it's quite valuable nowadays in this year of age. Secondly, it is the most preferable payment for the dark web or the deep web, and I think most of you guys already know this. This is the most preferred method of payment when coming to the transaction of the deep web, as simple as that, and it has the best MIT. In terms of anonymous, this payment is now you have to able to understand that Bitcoin is not completely anonymous. It's not completely hidden behind any shadows. However, it is much more anonymous when compared to your credit card, and I'm going to get to basically Bitcoin mixing in the future lecture, so you can then understand the in details. So let's go on until the final part here, which is basically Bitcoin is a very erratic currency now. So let me explain what that means. Bitcoin is highly volatile and unpredictable in a sense that it does not store value in a very predictable fashion. Now you might be asking, well, has Bitcoin value ever risen? Well, yes, that's true, but it's always it has been sometime gone down and sometime up, and now this is the peak time of Bitcoin, as you will see in the later when I will talk about the value. But this is the peak time of a Bitcoin user or owner. But you know that it's really dangerous in terms of people that want to try and invest in it. I will not recommend anyone to invest heavily into Bitcoin, because it's really, you cannot really tell that what's the value going to be in a few years from now on, because as this is now a peak time of Bitcoin, but maybe in the next year it may go down extensively price. So you never know. So let's look at some basic Bitcoin terminology. You may have heard some of the terms that we are seeing in here. So firstly, you have your Bitcoin wallet. This is where a Bitcoin will be stored for later use, and it's your virtual wallet where you can store all the coins. This is unique. This is a unique, and this is only unique to you. It will vary person to person because this is for own purpose, and it's protected by you. You have a password, and that's you. Basically, you understand that this is the world where you can store your Bitcoin. Of course, it's a virtual wallet. Secondly, Bitcoin address. So this is basically a key that will be used to send and receive Bitcoin. Now this is your unique address that will be used. For example, if you want to pay someone on the idea on dark web or deep web or darknet, you basically give them your Bitcoin address, and so on and so forth, vice versa. Now a blockchain, this is really isn't important right now because we will get into it later. So when we were talking about Bitcoin mining, but basically a blockchain is a list of blocks, which I will explain what a blockchain is, and that have been mined since the start of cryptocurrency. So now I'll get to a few minutes of promise probably in the next video. Now let's look at what a Bitcoin ATM is. Now Bitcoin ATM is the location where you can buy Bitcoin with real money. So this is where you can exchange your money. For example, US dollar. There's an example of how we can talk about a Bitcoin per pound. So you can exchange that for Bitcoin. So basically transferring, as you guys I know, you basically converting your currency into Bitcoin. So alright, and vice versa. Let's talk about the Bitcoin mining, which is a very hot topic right now, and I will probably cover a lecture on Bitcoin mining and how can you do it yourself. So Bitcoin mining is the generation or production of Bitcoin in the exchange for solving cryptocurrency problems. So you are using computer processing. So basically, if I were to set up a hypothetical Bitcoin miner, and this will include a computer, and obviously, and essentially what your computer is going to be doing is it will use a lot, and it will use a lot of processing or graphics power for solving this cryptocurrency problem, and you also need to open up like 24 hours, and in exchange for your service you will be granted a certain amount of Bitcoin depending on the complexity of the cryptographic problem that you are using. So I hope that this wasn't too confusing, but essentially Bitcoin mining is the most as or I'm guessing some of you may have heard which is basically just a cluster of a computer connected together performing cryptographic problems in exchange Bitcoin, which is why later we will convert into money, real money. So it is a money making scheme. Now let's look at Bitcoin value, because I think it's very essential that we understand what we are pointing out earlier. So if you are looking at this picture while recording the video, as the Bitcoin is $40,885.85, which is huge, and this is the peak time of this Bitcoin. So that's the Bitcoin. Now if you pay attention to the little graph here, it's going to tell you that Bitcoin started out, you cannot see here, but Bitcoin started out at 2013 and almost a zero value. So by the end of the 2013 and going on the 2014, it took a huge spike. I think in value it went up like 1,100 and something. So basically, as you can see, in 2018 it spiked the highest from 2013 to 2018. As you can see, it rise up to 20,000, and then after that it had like similar price at 2018 to 2020, and the end of the 2021 it has like 60,000 something USD dollar, and at the very end of the 2021, like December and November, it rose up its highest peak value, which is like 66,000 something, and it's also going strong now as I am recording this on March 10, 2022. So it went down at the 2014 it went down a bit, then it climbed again at the beginning of the 2015, then declined very steadily, and then went up again, as you can see here, and from 2020 and onward it's just climbing and very steady rate, almost like a tangent curve. So as you can see right here, few hikes along the way, and the highest value and the highest peak that it ever reached. So what I was pointing out earlier with how erratic it is, as you can see, the graph does not make any sense. As you look to the mathematical or statistical point of view, which I mean is, if you guys aware of the statistics, you will understand that this is the graph and this is not a very good graph. In terms of it, you are investing in this currency, for example, because it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down very erratically. It doesn't have any stable for a long period of time, and except this last year or so, even though you can see here it dropped huge from this to this. So it would be acceptable if the value would be like keep on going or keeping growing in a similar rate, but over the period of the 2 years it increased gradually with a little or no spike, because this is very threatening and you really cannot tell what the future holds. So basically this is it for the Bitcoin. Now in the next I will talk about blockchain. So now we will basically talk about the blockchain and explaining you guys what blockchains are and what blockchain actually does. So basically let's start from the building blocks. As a block is basically a record or a log of transaction, so that you are basically a Bitcoin transaction. So a block is a log of record of a Bitcoin transaction. Now basically what forms of blockchain is, so when a block or which is also a record of a Bitcoin transaction join or other block in a chronological sequences. So basically a blockchain is a collection of a record of all transactions that were done on the deep web through Bitcoin. So basically, for example, the first transaction connected to second, one after that is all in a chronological order, and these all form a quite a blockchain. So as a blockchain, so let me basically explain to you using this website. So the website I am using here is the blockchain.com, and basically it's going to show you the transaction per day and the last day and the current transaction. So it's going to say the number of Bitcoin transaction in the last 24 hours, and it's going to basically give you the few statistics chart about what Bitcoin is going on, and it's going to say that you see this is basically how many transactions are being completed right now, and it's very big one, as you can see in here. It's on live, and as you can see it's quite a lot so being performed. And as all I'm saying basically is, if I'm perform a transaction today using Bitcoin, is going to store in a block, and then the block is going to connect to the one mine block. Then is all goes in a like sequence of chronological order. So the newest will come first, and so on and so forth. So if I connected this, then my block will connect to the my mine, then it will grow in a chronological order. So that's basically it. I just wanted to explain what blockchains are, so to get you a good understanding and what they are basically related to deep web and Bitcoin, and you can get a lot more information and the traffic or statistics through this blockchain.com. So go and check this out. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. So in this lecture we're going to be basically looking at the Bitcoin wallets and how to set up a Bitcoin wallet and what are currently the best option in terms of Bitcoin wallet. So let's get started. Now I'm going to be showing you every Bitcoin wallet service that is online. I'm just going to give you my tips and my opinion on what are the best one and what I would recommend to a beginner getting into a Bitcoin. Of course, if you are not a beginner and you are already having a experience on a trend, basically making transaction with Bitcoin, you are free to use whatever the service that you may like or that you enjoy. So the first option I am going to show you is the Coinbase. Now reason I say the Coinbase is because firstly is the leading Bitcoin service in terms of exchanges, and that means that it has a very high user base, and from that it means that it is very trusted, and it's not completely fully trusted because of the following reasons. Like so firstly, it does not deal with your Bitcoin in Bitcoin wallet or in the appropriate way, in the sense that it is basically knows your address and your Bitcoin address, and from that basically means that it can identify you, for example with your personal information. So the Bitcoin address that really hinders in this Coinbase is anonymity, and if someone were to get that can literally just trace all the transaction that you have done, and that's something that people really don't like. Apart from that, as I said, it's a very big enough and friendly, and it's a very big stable service, and in a sense that it's got a lot of backing and has a lot of investor. And the one of the disadvantages I think is that it's a problem, the fact that it's not supported worldwide. It's only supported currently like 100 plus countries. So not all countries are supported it. So this Coinbase service is basically operates online. So you have to create an account, and you can basically create account by getting your address and Bitcoin address, and then start transaction with Bitcoin. I am going to get to that shortly. So basically you can access to the web and on your mobile device like Android or iPhone. It has insurance protection, so you have instant exchange secure storage that full controls or in terms of your private keys. It has a signature vault, or you can basically invest in the currency by scheduling the buys. So those are the really advantageous things that I don't think you will get into it. So that's basically it for the Coinbase. Now let's go back to my personal favorite, which is Bitcoin Core. So that I would highly recommend for beginners, and then it is a Bitcoin Core, as I told. So the tagline basically is telling you that is help you to Bitcoin decentralized, which is the reason why it was created, and the Bitcoin base will slightly deliver to the face, and it's really trying to make Bitcoin centralized in a sense that this just want to basically link in here. So what is Bitcoin Core? So Bitcoin Core initialization that will take time and download a lot of data. So you should make sure you have enough bandwidth to storage for this blockchain. So if you have a good internet connection, you can strengthen network using your PC running with Bitcoin Core and with a port 8333. So that's the basic way. So now let's just demonstrate how this works. So just click download Bitcoin Core, and it will instantly download. You don't need to do anything. And as you can see, I already downloaded this, so I am not going to download it again. And you can also download this on like Mac, Linux, ARM Linux, and that any of that if you want. Now let's go and install this Bitcoin Core. Now it's a simple installation process. Just click next, 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 then click next and run Bitcoin Core 64-bit. So you can choose where the Bitcoin Core will store its data. So Bitcoin Core download and store a copy of the blockchain Bitcoin blockchain of at least, as you can see, 420 GB gigabytes of data that will be stored in the directory, and it will grow over the time. The wallet will also be stored in these directories. So now a lot of people like saying that about this Bitcoin Core, the fact that it downloads because it downloads the entire blockchain, and that's like 100, like 200, 400 and something like gigabytes. So it may be discourage you from using it, but let me just explain why it's going to store the Bitcoin or blockchain. So just it helps you with the anonymity, and I'm not forcing you guys to install or use this option, but I'm just gonna be demonstrating all of the things in this software. So If you don't, if you are not comfortable with it using the Bitcoin Core or using this lots of data, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a custom directory because my C drive is already full, so I'm going to use this directory because these have a 1 terabyte hard disk. So let's just select this folder and click limit limit this because I just want to demonstrate. So click OK and allow access, and this is the main user interface of this Bitcoin Core. So let me just maximize this and hide this. So as I said, you don't have to use this, but I'm just going to show you how Bitcoin basically works with this. So let me show you the program right now. So is going to tell you your recent rates, and that actually may yet not be visible, but it's basically going to start doing its downloading and storing blockchain data. As you saw, it's going to download and store the data. So if you are going to open a file, and you can have a lot of file option in here. So if I open an URL, so you cannot open here, so create wallet. You can basically open a payment file. As you can see, you can open a URL and you can basically open a payment file in here. Now, which I'll get to you then say, you can basically send money on Bitcoin using like which one you want to send your, say, amount, and BTC, it is the Bitcoin, and you can also receive this from here. You can use label, amount, message or anything, and BTC is a native Bitcoin segment. And you can also see your transaction in here. So sorry. So this is basically gonna mean that if you export, you can export, as you can see, CSV file. You can export all the transaction that you made in here. So save as a CSV file that, and in here you can receive and you can show requested all of the receipt payment in here history, and you can check your history in here, and you can send this by here as I already showed you. And also from this default user interface page, you can see your available Bitcoin or pending and total amount. So it's gonna say your payment information. So basically this is your Bitcoin this is your Bitcoin address bar, and this is this is how you used to use this Bitcoin Core application or software to send, receive or transaction. Send, receive a Bitcoin and give it transaction details, and also you can get the information on network traffic. You can also encrypt your wallet by using these, and also you can sign messages or like this. You can enter a Bitcoin address in your address, and you can just sign a message. So this is all of the basic things and how this software works. And this is the menu where you can disable or check your, as you can see, it's already downloading at a full speed. So that's the all basic information that you need to know about this software. So this is what you are going to be using or to set or receive the Bitcoin anonymously, and you can do this through your Bitcoin wallet, and you can scan this to basically pay instantly or copy the address. So that's basically a Bitcoin wallet, and how to set up your Bitcoin wallet, and how to basically get your Bitcoin address, and how you basically send and receive Bitcoin. So in this here you can send addresses and also export the address detail. So you can also load from the signature file in here, and also you can back up your wallet if you already have saved. So this is the copy paste and remove entry, and use the available balance. If you have available balance, it will show in here. And this is the request payment address that you request the payment to. So as you can see, this is your address and this is your URL, and that's how you just copy the URL or copy the address, or even you can use the code to get the all information about your Bitcoin address or wallet. So that's that's all about this, how to care and get the address and all of this. So that's basically it. It looks very similar, very simple and very easy to use. So this is really user friendly, and hopefully you guys can get started with Bitcoin and your Bitcoin wallet, and hopefully start to making some transaction. So now in this video I am going to basically showing you my recommendation is for people who are interested in Bitcoin wallets. Now in my previous video I went through a Bitcoin code, which is a lot of you may not be very much liked at the fact that it will take so much space on your computer. So then that's understandable. 450 something GB is a lot of storage space, and all of you may not have that. So if you are looking for one similar to the Bitcoin core, then you can visit this website, blockchain.com. It is I think one of the best alternative that you can go and get, and in fact it is one of my personal favorites, but I don't use it online service. I like to use it as a desktop one, but that doesn't have to apply on you. You can basically use whatever you are comfortable with. So the blockchain.com is the world on which open for businesses. That's the basic tagline, and it's going to easily give you a few of information about themselves. As you can see in here, lots of nice website, and also give you a couple of main ideas. So it's basically works simply, and all you have to do is just hit a free Bitcoin wallet, and it will give you a, just click this, and you can sign up a free Bitcoin blockchain wallet. Just enter email address, password, and country, and you're done. You don't need to do anything. So after that you will have a page like this. So on here, as you can see, my total balance is 0, and my currency is preferred as US dollar. As you can see, lots of information in here, and we can also send or receive or trade Bitcoin from here, and also you can go to general and you can add this as your wallet ID, and even you can link banks, card, and you can learn about the privacy policy and terms and services. And onto the security, you can have like to email address, two-step verification, private key recover, and also have some advanced security. So it's nice to see these websites gives you a lot of advanced security system, so that you don't face any problem in future. And also trading limit. So as you can here, you can see a trading limit, and as it's saying, unlock new trading feature in your blockchain.com wallet by verifying your ID. So after verifying your ID, you can just limit and get the feature as you want. And in preferences, you can add your mobile number, your local currency. You can add any currency that you want, and you will have like crypto link handling. You can enable, which will allow your blockchain wallet to handle crypto payment link in the web browser from third parties such as BitPay, and enabling these will make your experience more convenient when transaction cryptocurrency online. And you have a auto logout, and also you have a nice themes like, let's go for dark mode. Okay, not so nice. Okay, and also wallet and accessories. You have your private. As you can see, you can import your wallet and also import your addresses. You can also see or view your private keys. I don't want to show you this because it will show my private keys. And also these are the wallet and addresses that you can find in here. So let's go to the home page. As you can see in the left bar, it's very simple. It's just a portfolio of your currency, and you can even see the last Bitcoin transaction in here. As you can see, lots of transaction in the recent 1 week. As you can see, lots of transaction. You can buy Bitcoin or swap Bitcoin in here. And also, as you can see, it's very simple. As a beginner, you can use this, and all of those settings will basically give you your wallet ID or login the website or scan ID code. So you can send Bitcoin from here. So select a value. So let's select a BTC as Bitcoin value. So from here, it's pretty simple. From the Bitcoin wallet to have your just set the destination or wallet and amount as the Bitcoin last amount of $10 or $100,000 as 0.02 BTC, and at description and network traffic is you can set network traffic and just click continue, and then it's done. It will send the Bitcoin of your preferred choice. And so receiving process is, you can just private key wallet. You can receive from private key wallet from salt key relay. Just click this, and it will send this private wallet. So it's very simple website and a very simple wallet. As you can see, I set it up under like 1 or 2 minutes, and that's basically it. You can basically set up your security in the security centers and harden your wallet, and really all comes down to your personal preference in terms of Bitcoin wallet. So that's all about the blockchain wallet. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. So in this video, we're going to be basically looking at one of the ways which you can earn free Bitcoin, and that is through Bitcoin faucet website. Now, faucet websites are not basically exclusive to Bitcoin. it also work with other types of cryptocurrencies, but we are here to learn about basically earning Bitcoin for free. So let me basically explain to you guys what is a Bitcoin faucet website is. So a faucet website is a website that will give you Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies for free in exchange for some simple task. For example, you could basically ask a website to like watch some certain videos or watch ads or give a video review or basically an application, a game or a website. So it really just make you influence the advertisers, and that they really are actually advertising in order to basically get an ad revenue. So there's their current business model. So in essence, a full faucet website is a website that will give you Bitcoin in exchange for performing simple task, as I already told, like watch is a video ad and some certain stuff, and which is basically to computing and browsing. Now they will easily most of these faucet websites will pay out a very small amount of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. They usually pay out a small called satoshis. So for those of you who don't know what is satoshi is basically the smallest unit of a Bitcoin, and they are equivalent to a millions of Bitcoin, as like 0.000. Basically after that you get a millionth of a Bitcoin. So it is basically very little, and when talking about how much they will basically pay out, so that does not mean they will pay out in a one satoshi. So they will pay out in a few, and let's say 20 satoshis, and maybe even 100 satoshis, depending on the type of the task that you are doing on that website. But the amount of the value of the belt is that they will give is that you also depends on the current state of the current value of a Bitcoin. So if the value of the Bitcoin is higher, which is what is right now, they will give you a lesser amount of satoshis, because that the whatever amount of satoshi is they give you is still worth something at the end of the day. And who knows, maybe if you save those satoshis and maybe add up one Bitcoin in the future, the Bitcoin value then rise into a few, maybe few tens of thousands, then that's just a profit, full profit. So you have to play this and really smart in an investment game. So as I said, the business model is focused on advertisement revenue, where they will get the advertiser to basically use their website so to advertise the product, and then they basically get users to basically verify the advertisement and run through the advertisement, and they basically pay out using Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So other features of this Bitcoin faucet website is the fact that when after perform a few tasks, they don't allow you to withdraw the amount of Bitcoin that you earn. So basically what you have to do is you want to make sure you actually using this service in the long term rather than in the short term, because in the past there have been many cases that site have been spammed with bots. But if you guys don't know what the bot is, so bots are usually a automated computer machine that will basically do the task in automated, and which is automatically, and they will basically do it repeatedly after and after, just to earn more money and saving energy and the time from the actual user. So there will be basically, so that will basically make you about 100 tasks, and that will give a waiting period, so that they can basically reduce the amount of port and spammers on the website who just perform one task and then withdraw, because that just defeat the purpose. Really, so that's basically it. This was the basic introduction toward the faucet websites. There are in the next video I'll be explaining how you use a faucet website and some of my favorite faucet website that basically gives you a little bit good amount other than other faucet websites amount of Bitcoin or Satoshis. So thank you so much for watching, and that's it for this video. So now we're going to be looking at the best Bitcoin faucet website that are around. So the previous video we actually talked about what a Bitcoin faucet website is and how they work. So we're going to be looking at the some of the best option that you have right now. So if you just look at a Google search and do a Bitcoin faucet list, and they will show a lots of list, and go to any of the website that you go. Almost all websites are similar because they give the same way. But I will just, if you want to visit this website, just go freebitco.in and just go to this website and sign up in Google. Just sign up. It's a pretty easy process. Just give your email address and it's done. As I have already signed up, so I cannot really show you the process. As you can see, just give you the email address and it's done. As you can see, I have already logged in there, so I cannot really show you the process. So if I am once you apply your Bitcoin by PEEP by playing high-low, when high-low jackpots up to 1 Bitcoin, you have like 50% referral commission for life, which means if you refer someone to this website, you will get 50% of the referral fee. So you can get, basically create an account. So just refer anyone if you want, so you will get the 50%. Now as you can see, it shows me as 00000 BTC, very well designed website, and that's going to tell you how much or how many Bitcoin you have or Satoshis that you have for this, and that will actually apply in here. So there are basically notices that you have over here. So you want to just enter this captcha like this. Let me try this one to see if it's work or not. Just roll. So they will give me a code. So 0000 means someone has already played from in this IP in the last hour, so you need to wait. So as I already played, so I can really play the free BTC game again. So that's what I meant. So as I am using VPN because in my country this Bitcoin website is blocked, so let me just change this to Netherlands to see actually if this works. As you can see, there are so many problems. So in your country this may not be the same case. Okay, let me just change this. As you can see, every country has some limitation. Okay, containing a motor bus. Okay, this one, 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 this one. As you can see, I can really test this out because I already have this free BTC receipt. So, but the process is when you get this from your country or region, it will show you some satoshis. Like at the end, you will see 80, as you can see in here. It will show like if you got this lucky number, this is the lucky number. So if you got something under 0 to 95, then you will get 5 BTC. So if you get this to this, you will get 51, and if you get 10,000, then you will get a huge satoshis. And the withdraw process is there is some limitation to withdrawing, like transaction fees is you have to be minimum at these two transaction, and also you can withdraw only in Sunday. So limited to maximum of 3,000. So you have to at least 3,000 satoshis to complete the withdrawal. So that's the process actually. So basically it's just a waiting game and a bit of patience involved, and eventually you will have a good amount of satoshis. Then the current value is Bitcoin is so high, so you never know. Really, basically on this, as you know, Bitcoin price value is really high right now, as you can see, a huge amount. So you can really get a huge amount of Bitcoin if you just play regularly. So you cannot just play continuously, because as I told before about the bots, so you have a time limit. So after that limit you can play again and get some satoshis based on this lucky number. So that's it for this faucet website. So you'll find out there and how simple it is, as you see, to basically make a Bitcoin. So you're gonna not make a lot, but eventually if you try every day, every hour, and piece up and keep on using these websites like faucet, many couple of faucet websites, then you will have a good amount of good amount of satoshis. So yeah, that's a good practice if you are into these bitcoins so that's the process. You can get free satoshis or bitcoins using these faucet websites. So that's it for this video. Hello and welcome. So now we're going to get started with this topic and how to create and host your own deep web or onion website. So basically, in a nutshell, I am going to be showing you how to create and host your own deep web website. And now what I am going to do is to showing you the process how to done. So we are going to using a Linux. More specifically, if you want to use any Linux distributor, you can use anything that you want, like Kali Linux, Ubuntu. Like as I am using Ubuntu, and I would prefer you to use this Ubuntu, because as I am showing the process, there's some code that will be different on like Kali Linux, but the work will be same, but the code process will be different. So it's better to use the same virtual machine operating system as I am using Ubuntu. Even you could do it with Windows, but I'm not going to do that because it's really a tedious process. And again, you're basically going to turn your computer into a server, and you don't want it to be running on Windows, trust me. So I'm going to open up a terminal, as you see. that's how we got started. So to first you open up a terminal and you have to enter root. So what you have to do is just type this command, and sudo bash is the command to get you to the root. So what you have to do now then is to give the password of this machine, then give the password, then that will accept me the root. As you can see, it gives me the root. So and then what you need to do is you need to install the tor on this machine, and previously I already showed you how to install tor on Ubuntu, so just check that out, or also just Google it if you don't find that lecture. It's a very easy process. Just install the tor and then come back to here. So if you are not familiar with Linux command line, so just follow me along. It's the same process, but for those who are recommend or using the Linux terminal like Kali Linux, you are going to have some change in the command line. So let me just go to this directory. So go to this directory, you just type cd space / etc. So it will go to this directory, and then we will list all those items into this in this directory. So just type ls after this, type ls, and it will list all of these items on this directory. So what you need to do is you have to go to this tor directory. So what you have to do is just type cd space tor / then it will go to the tor folder or tor directory. Then after that you have to just use this file, but what you have to do, you can just list all those files into this directory. So just list, type ls, and it will list those files into this directory. So what you have to do now is you have to edit this file. So but just type get edit, so you can just use any text editor or just type this get edit torc torc torc. So it will open this file into a text editor. So let me just type it again. So show you the process. GETIT TORC. As you can see, it will come up this file, and what you have to do is you have to go down. So in default your last line will be this. So after that you have to add these two lines. So I will also tell you what this does. So but in default you will see this is the last line. So after that just press enter and just type this hidden service space /var space lib space tor /tor /hidden _ service. Just type this, and after that type hidden service port. You will give the port to 80, and you will what this is. So this is this system's IP address. So how can you get this IP address? You can just type in a new window and check your IP address by typing config. As you can see, my IP address is this one, inet. So this will vary from machine to machine, so do check this out. You will have a different IP address, but you will have a similar to this alongside inet. So you just copy this IP address and paste in here. As you can see, I already pasted this, and then type colon and type the same 80 port that you typed in here. So as you can see 20, so you have to type this and also this, and then after that just save and close. Save and close. So go, and after these processes you have to do is you have to go to another terminal, and you have to start the Tor service, or by just typing service Tor start, it will start the Tor service. And after that you have to install the Apache 2 packages. So what you have to do is just type apt, which will the default command line, and install Apache 2. It will simply install the Apache 2. It will take a couple of minutes, so don't worry, this will take some time. And this is the Apache 2 server for you those who don't know. Apache 2 is a custom web development, and this will create a local host where you can access your website and edit it, etc., etc. So to do this, as I already told, you have to install the Apache 2 and just type this, and it will gonna install the service, and it will install all the service, and it will start it after that. So after that, as you can see, it already enabled and installed all the services. So thus this should be done is you are going to be hidden your services and hostname, and your hostname is basically is your deep web link or your onion website link, and just you have to leave that open. So what you have to do now is you have to go to your hard drive, like in your file manager, go to other location, go to your computer, and you have to go to var folder, like var, then leave, then you have to go to Tor. So you have to go to Tor, you have to use your Ubuntu password, so just give your password, and so when you go to this, as you can see in here, leave Tor folder, and there will be a hidden service folder. So in folder you have to go to your hostname, and in this file you will see your deep web website link. As you can see in here, this is your deep web website link, onion. As you can see at the end, it's .onion. So this is the title of the then what you have to do is you have to go to this folder in my computer from var to www and then html. So this is your Apache folder and Apache HTML file. Which you will do is you will edit your website and how your website will look. So I'll just type something or some line in my text editor to add this into the Onion website. As you can see, I just typed. You can just type anything you want, anything you can want, like in here. Just as you can see, I gave this some initial metadata and also the title and also some description and also the text title. As you can see, it will be red. So this is just a simple website, and we can just give some simple styling and some internal styling as like colors. So as you will be creating your own website, so that's all up to you. You can use anything you want, and creating a text website HTML file, you can actually, as you can see, this is how actually you can create a simple line in your Onion website. So after that, what you have to do is you have to open the Tor browser, and I already showed you how you can just download and open Tor browser previously on Ubuntu. Just open the Tor browser, and after connecting the Tor browser, you just simply type this website. So when you type this on your Tor browser, this will simply show, as you can see in here, this will simply show this and also the description that I typed in my text editor. As you can see, welcome to this website. This site was created for the dark web. As you can see, the site was created for the deep web. So and as you can see, and it works full, and the website is created by the deep web. So you can basically write anything in one in this text editor, like an example atom. So you can write anything and you can make any design or any bar, toolbar as you want. So this is the how you can set up an environment on a creating and set up an environment, create a deep web website, and set up and basically set up a Apache. So that's basically it for the video. It's not really that complicated, but as you can see, it's totally worth it and it does work. So that's it, how you can just create or host your own deep web or Onion website on Tor browser or in a deep net. So that's it. That's for today. Hello everyone, so in this video I am going to be showing you how to set up PGP for on a Windows operating system, and basically how to use it for PGP communication. So for the first section, I already explained previously what PGP is in detail. So it's type of a encryption that will allow you to send a message across the internet or even in the deep web of the darknet. So in this video I am going to show you how to set up and basically use PGP on Windows operating system. So let's get started. So first what you need to do is you're gonna open your browser and need to go to this website gpg4win.org. So or just search on Google, so this page will come up. So just go to this website and download. So you don't need to pay anything, or if you want to pay, you can pay to support the developer. So I'm gonna just hit $0 and just click download, and it will be downloaded. It's a little software. As you can see, I already downloaded it, so I'll not download again. So download the latest version. Now let's go and install the GPG for Windows. So just double click and it will start the installation process, which is pretty easy. And I think all you have done all of this, and also obviously must tick this GPA must, otherwise it cannot work. So you have to tick this GPA. So and then click next and next install, and it will be done. Then run. Then you will see there is a 2 installation file, that open file that you can open. So let's just open GPA. So as you can see in here, you do not have any private key yet. So do you want to generate one now? So you have to generate key now. So let's just open this now. So this is the screen you will get at first. So they will ask you to generate a key. So I'm gonna just put my name in here. Then click forward. Then you put email address, like I'm giving my random email address for this test purpose. Hit forward. Again, the type of communication might be different for you. So just enter your email address. So after entering your email address, you can create a backup copy. So I'm not gonna do that, and I don't really think it's really important unless you are using these PGP keys for very important communication. So I will do it later, then forward. Then this is the most important part, and this is your passphrase, and you have to remember what your passphrase is. And basically your password is supposed to contain some letters and numbers. So it's supposed to be an alphanumeric key or code. So I'm just going to create one using key and code. And repeat this. So the more longer of your passphrase is, the more secure it is. So make sure you remember your password, and I don't recommend writing it or saving it or keep it anywhere else, this password. So just click OK. As you can see, it created a key manager of my email address. So also do not share the passphrase anyone. This is here, and this is basically what we encrypt and encrypt all the messages. So if somebody has your passphrase, they can basically encrypt all your messages. So keep this ultra secure. So as you can keep it, you can make it as powerful as you want. So now as you can see, it created a key. Now let me explain something about PGP that has explained in the past. I already explained previously what PGP is and how PGP works. Now basically PGP is a public key, and which I will show you right now. So if I say, if I want to copy my public key, then just right click on your mouse and it will give you a lot of options like backup, send, export, copy private key, and just hit you copy. As you can see, the key has been copied. And then open a notepad or even text document will work. And if you paste your public key, so this is what people will use to communicate with you. This is your PGP address or code, so to speak. So if you want to communicate with someone, you are basically send them this. So once you send them this, what they will do, for example, let me just show you. What they will do, they will just create a clipboard, and what you need to do is go to Windows and clipboard, and they were gonna type a message like hi, random. So let me just type this message. So that's the message they want to send, and just a very simple message, and they are gonna hit encrypt. So what you gonna do is, now they are gonna paste your key to this. So when they click encrypt, they are gonna paste their public key, and we already have this, so we are gonna click this, and we are gonna select it, and we are gonna hit OK. As you can see, so as once they encrypted it, as I already shown, your public key, they are gonna get this PGP message. So this is the basic PGP message. So this is encrypted PGP message, so they will send you this message. Now once they send you this message, they basically, so you have to basically decrypt it, and you decrypt it using your passphrase. So as I said, you have to remember your password. So I'm going to enter my passphrase to decrypt this. So what you have to do is click on decrypt, and as you can see, you have to use your passphrase. So let me just use my passphrase and click OK. As you can see, it showed the message the sender want me to see. So I'm going to explain this again. So you have your public key like this, and which will generate and then give you, and you can copy and give you the person that you want to communicate with. Then this will turn in basically a internal code to write a message, and then give that message into your public key. So this is for a test. Then encrypt it with your message. So as you can see, encrypt it with your password. Then it will ask for a passphrase. Then it's done. It will be encrypted. Then decrypt. When you want to decrypt, it will just have to press decrypt, and it will decrypt. Okay, let me just show you this again. Let me copy this and paste this in here. As you can see, this is the my PGP key. So what you have to do is you have to go clipboard and type something like a random word and encrypt this and encrypt, and then what you have to do is you have to send this key. So just click OK and it's encrypted. So what you have to do is just click decrypt. As you can see, as I have already pasted my passphrase, so that's why it's giving me my result or the text messages that you want to decrypt. So that's the whole process of how you can encrypt and decrypt your PGP key using your PGP key. So basically that's the how PGP works and how to set up GPG for a Windows machine. So I hope you get to learn how this works, and that's it for the video.
Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'll show some dark net links, deep web. So this is the dark fox. This is the onion website, and let's see what inside in this website. This is drugs market, openly selling pure Colombian cocaine, all the drugs all over the world. You guys can find here, and this is the classification of drugs. Many other drugs for selling, like cannabis. You guys can find here guns. This is weed. This is illegal for many country, but inside darknet or dark deep web, this is legal, and you guys can purchase it or sell, exchange anything you want. The darknet is an overlay network built over the regular internet like other overlays networks, peer-to-peer and client-server applications. It has its own social networks, sites, forums, and other platforms for communication, file transfer. A regular web browser such as Mozilla Chrome, Opera, Firefox is not enough to access them. A special browser like Tor is needed along with special PC settings and authorization. Darknet resources are not indexed by public search engines. This is the another website, and I have to sign up for this. So as the darknet has its own search engines, the sites and social networks that average users are familiar with are called the surface web, visible web, indexed web, indexable web, or lightnet. They often make it possible to establish the identity of user and their IP address. The darknet is anonymous and conceals IP addresses. And dark web is another thing. The dark web is another name for darknet sites that contain often illegal information and databases that are referred to by criminals and unscrupulous individuals. The dark web and the darknet are not the same thing, though they are often mistakenly referred to by the same term. There are various resources on the darknet, not just websites but also chat rooms, or private gaming servers. The darknet is brimming with such resources, unlike the dark web, which does not contain any communication channels. So this is it. Hope you guys liked it, and thanks for watching. Hello everyone. So in this tutorial, I will show you guys how to buying goods on the darknet. The beginner's guide, like a step-by-step guide to buying on the darknet. Step 1, buying Bitcoin, then Bitcoin with local cryptos, accessing the darknet, picking your darknet market, funding your darknet account, browsing your darknet market. So in here I go to a darknet market in gun market, and this is the sample of the gun market. Look carefully. Darknet markets DNMs supply all manner of goods, some legal, others less so, but all purchasable with cryptocurrency and delivered to your door. Indeed, many people's first exposure to Bitcoin is when they have the need to purchase something of the darknet. For shopping of last resort, you need money of last resort, Bitcoin or possibly Monero. The guide is intended for complete beginners, whether you are a student seeking study, enhancing node topics, or septagonal with limited internet skills but need for pain relief. Buying Bitcoin, you need cryptocurrency to order goods of the darknet. Bitcoin is the most widely used cryptocurrency. So this is the gun market in darknet, and it depends on what you are buying, but they are basically set up like eBay and Amazon, only instead of using cash you use cryptocurrency by transferring from your wallet to Trace. All I know about the dark web is you need special programs to access it. So you guys also need this, but beware, this is full of criminals who are looking for people to target. Also, the security services are trawling, tracking down drug dealers and criminal activities. Anything you can possibly imagine. I have answered questions before explaining the worst thing I saw on the darknet, so I'll summarize it here. Hope you guys liked it, and thanks for watching.